Hmm. Operational risk, understanding types and management. Presentation overview. Defining operational risk. Operational risk is the risk of loss resulting from inadequate or failed internal processes, people, and systems from external events. This can include risks associated with fraud, errors, legal or regulatory compliance, and cybersecurity. Types of operational risk. There are several types of operational risk, including people risk, process risk, technology risk, legal and compliance risk, and external risk. Each of these types of risk can pose unique challenges and require different approaches to risk management. Identifying and managing operational risk. Effective operational risk management involves identifying and assessing risk, developing risk mitigation strategies, and regularly monitoring and updating these strategies. This requires a comprehensive and integrated risk management framework that incorporates people, processes, and technology. Understanding operational risk. Definition of operational risk. Operational risk is the risk of loss arising from inadequate or failed internal processes, people, and systems, or from external events. It can arise from different sources and can have a significant impact on the organization's objectives. Sources of operational risk. The sources of operational risk include fraud, errors, and external events such as natural disasters, cyber attacks, and political instability. Definition of operational risk. Operational risk is the risk of loss that arises from failed or inadequate internal processes, people, systems, or from external events. It is a multifaceted risk that includes risks arising from human error, fraud, technology failure, and external events. Sources of operational risk. Operational risk can arise from inadequate processes, human error, technology failures, and external events such as natural disasters or geopolitical risk. These sources of operational risk can lead to financial and reputational loss for companies. Types of operational risk. People risk. People risk refers to the risk of financial loss due to human error, misconduct, or fraud. It includes the risk of inadequate or failed internal processes, systems, or controls caused by employees, temporary staff, or third-party service providers. Process risk. Process risk refers to the risk of financial loss due to inadequate or failed internal processes, systems, or controls. It includes the risk of errors, delays, omissions, or deficiencies in the execution of operational processes. Systems risk. Systems risk refers to the risk of financial loss due to inadequate or failed information systems, technology infrastructure, or security systems. It includes the risk of system failures, errors, cyber attacks, or unauthorized access. External risk. External risk refers to the risk of financial loss due to external events or circumstances beyond the control of the organization. It includes the risk of natural disasters, geopolitical events, regulatory changes, or operational disruptions caused by third-party service providers or contractors. People risk, inadequate internal processes. People risk arises from inadequate or failed internal processes, which can lead to financial loss, reputational damage, or compliance issues. Employee misconduct. People risk includes risks associated with employee misconduct, such as fraudulent activities, theft, or conflicts of interest. Errors and mistakes. People risk includes risks associated with errors and mistakes, which can lead to financial loss, reputational damage, or compliance issues. Process risk. Process risk refers to the potential loss that can arise from failed or inadequate internal processes, including errors in data entry, process errors, and management failures. Systems risk. Systems risk is the risk of loss arising from inadequate or failed systems or technology. Examples of systems risk include system failures, data breaches, and cyber attacks. Organizations need to be aware of these risks and implement controls to mitigate them. External risk, natural disasters. External risks such as natural disasters can cause significant harm to businesses and individuals. These events include earthquakes, hurricanes, and floods. Geopolitical risk. Geopolitical risk arises from political instability, terrorism, or war. These risks can impact businesses operating in foreign countries. Regulatory changes. Regulatory changes, such as changes in tax laws or environmental regulations, can have significant impacts on businesses. Companies need to be aware of these changes and adapt accordingly. Operational risk incidents. Definition of operational risk incidents. Operational risk incidents are unforeseen events that result in business disruption and can have financial, legal, and reputational consequences. These incidents can result from internal or external factors and can impact any aspect of a business's operations. Types of operational risk incidents. Operational risk incidents can take many forms, including technological failures, human errors, natural disasters, and cyber attacks. Managing operational risk. Risk identification. The first step in managing operational risk is to identify potential risks. This may involve developing risk matrices, conducting risk assessments, or using other methods to identify and measure risk. Risk assessments. Once potential risks have been identified, the next step is to assess the likelihood and impact of those risks. This may involve analyzing historical data, using predictive analytics, conducting scenario planning. Risk mitigation. Once risks have been identified and assessed, companies can take steps to mitigate those risks. This may involve developing contingency plans, implementing process improvements, or transferring risk through insurance or other methods. Risk control self assessment. Identifying risk. Risk control self assessment involves identifying operational risks across an organization. This process involves engaging with employees at all levels to identify risks and improve risk management processes. Assessing risks. Risk control self assessment involves assessing operational risks across an organization. This process involves analyzing risks to determine their likelihood and potential impact on the organization. Mitigating risks. Risk control self assessment involves mitigating operational risks across an organization. This process involves developing and implementing risk management processes to reduce or eliminate identified risks. Key risk indicators. Key risk indicators are essential in the management of operational risk as they provide a way for companies to measure and monitor risks, allowing them to take proactive steps to prevent and mitigate risks before they occur. Scenario analysis, modeling potential scenarios. Scenario analysis involves modeling potential operational risk scenarios that could have an impact on the organization, allowing companies to gain a better understanding of the potential risks they may face. Identifying potential risks. Scenario analysis helps companies identify potential risks and take steps to mitigate the impact of those risks, allowing them to be better prepared to deal with potential risks. Conclusion. By understanding the sources and types of operational risks, companies can implement effective risk management strategies to reduce the likelihood and impact of incidents related to operational risk. Thank you.